By now, more people have heard the rumblings of a new Shonen Jump crossover game for console. The last one we got was Jump Force, and in my last video on the topic, I already gave the initial news and my reaction and feelings as a guy who started this channel mainly talking about that last crossover game, Jump Force. Now, we've got more information on this game, and it seems there's a bit of a controversy on who leaked what for the game. If you remember last time, I said the same information was coming out from multiple sources, but on that day we got a leaked photo of the game's logo, and anyone who covered that pretty much saw it first on a Ninja Storm Connection Leaker's Twitter account, although it was also on another's account, which I explained in my previous video why we shouldn't automatically consider this fake and why there's some credibility with these people. Now, talks about this game did exist before this initial post, and a leaker has apparently attempted to reach me and other YouTubers about it, leaving a comment on my previous video and several tweets. The thing is, this person's known by a few names on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, so it's hard to actually give credit, but this leaker has stated that it was on his or her Reddit post that this was first something that appeared, and that the Naruto Storm leaker copied it. I personally cannot really confirm that, but it is true that this person was talking about this game first. I've seen word going around that this is proven fake by this leaker, but that isn't the case. It seems this leaker is fighting for credit, and if you have multiple people claiming credit on this leak, then I'd say it pushes this more towards the real side of this being an actual game rather than just a trick someone is pulling on this entire anime community. The leak here goes as follows. Keep in mind, it doesn't seem English is this leaker's main language, so just keep that in mind. In May 11th, the game receives other leak say the game received a total list of 163 characters and say Madara is a boss battle. Madara is not a playable character. Yoruichi and Soifan is in cutscenes. And the game is not a Jump Force 2 or a similar game sequence. This game is a different project. The game is in development before Jump Force is launched. Now, we can pause there. Of course, if this game is called something different than Jump Force, then it isn't an actual sequel, but it is apparently a new Shonen Jump crossover game for console that is an arena fighter. This is basically in the same branch or series of games that Shueisha had been doing when it comes to Jump crossovers, which I refer to it being a Jump Force 2 in the last video. Jump Force is the last game in the series people remember, so it's easier to describe it that way by saying, oh, we're getting a Jump Force 2, even though we know it's literally not Jump Force 2. This is called something else. It's called Jump Stars Ultimax. That's the name that we've seen in all these leaks. The interesting thing is that this would have been in development before Jump Force, which is something I'm a bit skeptical about, because I'm like, how could that be? They were busy licensing all these games, all these characters for Jump Force, and then they were also doing that with a second game. I don't know, that's a bit confusing. The leak goes on to say, trailer is 1 minute and 43 seconds long. Arena Fighter looks incredibly similar to the Ultimate Ninja Storm games in terms of gameplay. Now, when it comes to that being part of the leak, if it's developed by the same developers as Ninja Storm, it's pretty easy to see it looking like Ninja Storm. That's what everyone was saying about Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles, or Hinokami Kaputan as other people call it in different countries. That game was developed by the same developers, and a lot of people are like, this looks exactly the same as Ninja Storm. Although, sometimes not everything in Ninja Storm is the greatest, and when it came to the Demon Slayer game, when I played it, I was like, this doesn't feel like Ninja Storm. So for better or worse, it looks like Ninja Storm, but it does not play exactly like Ninja Storm. It just looks like it. Once you actually play the game, you're like, yeah, this is different. There's different mechanics here, different ways of playing this game. It's not the same game swapped out with a different anime. It's different. So I would assume that would be the same thing for this series. Although if it played exactly the same as, like, let's say the Demon Slayer game, I don't think I would have a problem with that. Although I would kind of like it to be a little bit of its own thing. Now, the Ninja Storm leaker said recently as well, a trailer of about 2 minutes should arrive. Arena Fighter, combat system like a Ninja Storm or Hinokami Chronicles, unpublished characters created especially for the scenario, a roster with more than 100 characters, developed by CC2. Alright, so honestly, I'm not saying certain leakers are more credible than others. Maybe they're copying, maybe people heard the same things to leak out, I don't know. But what I do know is that I hope this is real. There's more stuff to talk about, but I think I'll leave that for another video. But with all this information that is kind of just being thrown your way right now, just let me know what you guys think. My name's Konjic, I love you, and I'll talk to you in the next video.
And I can say that I'm great, yeah, I can say that I'm perfect. I ain't the one that was out here saving lives, I was purchased. Now we about to take you out if you try to act toxic. I'ma send you straight up to my main man, Konjic.